I'm Philip Iskandarian, and welcome to this very first edition of SoCal on a Budget, a show designed to get families out of the house so that they can have fun. And the best part about it is that you can do it for little or no dough. Oftentimes you can do it for free, which is my favorite word. So are you curious? Do you want to have some fun? Then come along. Today's adventure, I'm going to take you to 3 historical places that have something all in common. Hollywood. We're going to start out our show from Van Nuys and head over to Santa Clarita. It'll be the perfect day trip. You can visit all 3 places in one day.
Yeah.
Okay, we've come to our first stop, which is the William S. Hart Park in Newhall, California. It's a big, beautiful place. They have a lot of things to do here. Actually, you could spend the whole afternoon here. And it's free. They have a barnyard with animals for the kids. They have hiking trails, picnic grounds, and but we're not here to see any of that. What we're here to see is the retirement home of silent screen actor William S. Hart, which is just up this trail. So let's go. Okay, this is what we came to see. William S. Hart's retirement home. And just in a couple minutes we will be taking the tour inside. Now, I don't want to film a lot of the inside. I wanted to leave it up to be a mystery for you so that you can have your own excitement. I will show you a couple neat things that they have in the home, but we'll save the rest for you when you come out to visit.
That's okay. Now it's all tempting.
Oh no, it's just I'm running out of breath. Oh my God.
Come right on into the
Oh my
living room.
gosh. Oh my
Probably the
God.
first thing the kids always want to know about is that bear on the floor, right?
Oh, is it a real bear?
It is a real bear.
Knew
It
it.
was a real bear. It's an Alaskan Kodiak bear. Whoops. It was a gift to Mr. Hart from a man named Will Rogers. Her name is Amelia Earhart. Do you know who she is? Who was she?
She flew plane.
She did. She was the first woman
This is
pilot
really
to
cool.
fly across the Atlantic Ocean. And she and her husband were guests here at the ranch. They actually sat in the living room you're standing in and watched a William S. Hart movie. And if you get the book that was written by Amelia Earhart's husband about Amelia Earhart's life, there is a chapter that talks all about coming out to Mr. Hart's ranch to visit him. So Amelia Earhart and Mr. Hart, yeah. Who is that? That's Abraham Lincoln.
Knew it.
Isn't it close to 7?
Probably. Does that make sense?
There is a very cool picture on the wall here, and I will try to zoom in on it so you can see it more clearly. You recognize it? That's Wyatt Earp. Bill Hart was friends with Wyatt Earp and even was one of the palm bearers at his funeral. Very interesting. Now this is a treat. I've been here before and never have I seen the buffalo so close to the road that you can see them up close. And when you come here, you'll experience for yourself. Hopefully they'll be up on the road, close to the road, like I'm viewing them today. Okay, we're at our second stop, and here's a little thing that I made to show you the address and some information. Now, I'm going to show you another picture, and I want you to see if you can tell me who this is, because it all ties in together. Sorry about the wind, but I'll try to do my best. Do you recognize this guy? Well, of course you do. It's the Duke, John Wayne. How does he tie into this equation? Well, he was friends with this guy. Fortunately, we just have a small picture of him. But he was friends with this guy, Harrey Carrey Jr., and that's where we're at. The birth house of his father, Harry Carrey Sr., and then Harry Carrey Jr. was born here. It's their ranch. And then later in the 50s, the Cloverty family bought the ranch to raise livestock and kind of have it as their retreat. But if you don't recognize that last name, you will when I tell you what business they own. They were the owners of Farmer John Packing Company. You know, the ones the bacon, Dodger dogs, sausages. Yeah, that Farmer John. And they had the ranch for 50 years until they sold it, and it was developed into Tesoro del Valle housing community. It was a huge ranch, 1,800 acres. And they left their trademark everywhere on the ranch, as we're going to see now. Here's an example of how the Clogertys left their trademark everywhere. You have it, the FJ logo on the bed sheets, and then I'll pan over and show you the curtains. Try to get a bit. Well, let's see if I can see it. There we go. And even in the kitchen and on the fireplace, they let everybody know whose ranch this actually was. Now here's the inside of the living room, and notice how beautiful the ceiling is with the natural wood, and then also the beautiful rock fireplace. I mean, this would be my total ideal of having the perfect house just like this. They have some murals inside the house painted by a famous artist, but unfortunately he was doing some work down at the packing house in Vernon and fell off some scaffolding and passed away. But this is some of his work that he had completed inside the house. This is the front of the main adobe. Just wanted to show it to you, but you'll have to come out and experience the rest for yourself. Okay, we have arrived at our last location. We are at Rancho Camulos, just a little bit below where Piru is. Now, Rancho Camulos is an original Mexican land grant from, I think, about 1848, and it is still a working ranch. Its place is frozen in time. A lot of the original buildings are still here, including the original adobe, the winery building, and but its Hollywood connection is it's the birthplace of the novel and the movie Ramona, which starred Mary Pickford. And here's a little poster here that you can see about Ramona. Even they had the oranges that were the Ramona brand. Now here we are at Rancho Camulos, out in front of the main adobe. And then I'm going to pan around slowly so you can see the grounds here. And now this is once owned by the Del Valle family. And this is Mrs. Del Valle's, she was a very religious person, and her husband had built her this little chapel, which is known as the Lost Mission. And in a little bit we'll go up and see if we can look inside. But it's very beautiful here. And here's the old fountain, and you can see a little bit of the valley below. And they have opened this up for weddings and special events, and it's just a place that's just frozen in time, and they're having a special event here today. Okay, we are going to show you the Lost Chapel of Mrs. Del Valle. Now what's interesting about this is that some of the Padres, either from the San Fernando Mission or from Ventura, would come down here and give service. And I'll show you inside so you can see it, but I'm not going to film the whole entire grounds. Like I say, you have to come out here and see it for yourself. Sorry about my son getting in the way, but it's just something that's just frozen in time. Now this is the view off of the little porch from the chapel. I just wanted you to see how picturesque this place really is. Now I'm going to pan over to see if we can get a little bit of the hacienda from here. Now they do give tours, but they used to be open on Sundays, and now they've changed it to Saturdays only from 1 to 4. So if you're going to make this a day trip and hit all 3 places, then you probably will have to plan it for a Saturday, or possibly, you know, split it up into 2 days. Now this is just more pictures of the hacienda. We just found out some information though, that's better to call ahead on a Saturday, because more and more people are finding out about it, and they are having more weddings here. So it's better to call ahead just to make sure they're open before you head out. But you know, a lot of times you can just come in and just walk around. It's a neat thing to see. And they have the original schoolhouse, which was built in the 30s for the Rubio family, which was the second family that bought the ranch. And they have a lot of historical pictures inside as well, and you can learn more about the history. They also show you a little short clip of the movie Ramona with Mary Pickford. Well, how did you like this adventure? I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little bit about history. Just a word of thought. Before you start, make sure you can get up to the William S. Hart Ranch by 11 o'clock. Their tours start every half an hour, and that way if you're there by 11, you'll have plenty of time to get to the other locations and see the little extra things that they have. I'm Phil for SoCal on a Budget, telling you to ride the wind and let it guide you on your adventures. Take care. Goodbye.